my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. I'm here early. I'm ready, you guys. Are you guys ready? There we are. All right, let's get this big so I can see everybody. All right, I got my microphone on today, so once everybody jumps in, start saying hey, let me know if you can hear me okay. Belinda's ready. I have to be careful when I wear the mic that I don't scream because I know it goes like super loud when I do that. But while I'm waiting for y'all to hop on, I'm just going to glue my little flower here and watch my comments. Everyone's ready? I sound good? Not too loud? You sound great. Hi there. Okay. Hi Sylvia. Hi Yvonne. Belinda's here. Wilma. Christy. Waldo Carmichael. Okay, I'm forgetting who that is. She was at the retreat. Tell me, remind me. That's not their real name. Let's see if she says. Yeah, I have to keep scrolling the comments. Let's see. Carol. Yeah, Carol, you're early too. You were early too? Yeah. Sir Stamp-a-Lot. Andrea, hello. Esther, hey. Hello, Esther. Hello from Texas. Karen. Hello. Oh, I don't want to mess your name up. Sojuke Monsma. I tried. I'm sorry. Hi, Karen. I love this paper too. Hello. Teresa's here. Hello. Korig. You know what, you guys? I'm honestly trying to learn Dutch a little bit on YouTube. I'm not going to go for it today, by all means, but I am going to try. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Linda. Hi, Sil. I said hi, Sylvia. Laura. Waldo Carmichael is Laura. Laura Adame. Yes. So welcome, everybody. I stopped gluing to look at the comments, and now the glue has dried on my little flower here. So I'm going to finish that, and I'll go back to the comments and welcome you guys. I will say I have been having like almost too much fun. Is that possible with this whole getting ready for the live and playing with textures? Sue Walker's here. Anya, hello. Thank you for being there to help me out. Serena, Donna. I love that paper too, right? Yes, you will see over here, this is Let It Be from Graphic 45, but I'm going to be using all kinds of stuff today. Jeanette. Yeah, I wish I knew what you were saying. Let's look. Good evening, says Jeanette. Hey, Kathy Jacobson. Lynn Harrison. Mary. Veronica, Cindy. Wow, we have a lot of people here. Shelly, Janice, Marik, Honora's here. Linda, Tani. Hi, Tani. Kathy Planter from Texas. Liz, Sally. Oh my goodness. Marlene and Tracy's here. Hi, Tracy. Cindy's here from Vegas. Hey, Cindy. Donna, Linda. Okay, let's see. It's okay, Annette. Difficult name. Oh, thank you. Susan Weber's husband is in Greenville today for a swim meet. Ah, and he knew just who I was, didn't he, Susan? Not. There's Lolly. She loves her bee journal. Yes, the bee planner we did at the retreat with Els. There's Terry. Hi, Terry. San Diego. Lisa's here. Tamara. There's Diane Prince. Hello. Is the bee kin the corner a stamp or other? Okay, we're going to have to think about that one. Julie's here. Dorian's here. Mitzi, hello. Okay, well, I think we're rolling. So I was just messing around with this page. We'll get to this in a bit, but today is all about texture. And what made me think of this idea was that at the retreat we made this lovely planner book. Let's see. What are y'all talking about? Something happened with Sue. Yona's here. Yona, you took a time out from baking and crafting chocolates. Thank you. So this was our project, one of the classes at the retreat. So I'll give you just a really fast little spin through. I believe I flipped through this very quickly in a YouTube video. You know, we used all kinds of dies. We used the page protectors. We did some fun little swing things. This is all Graphic 45 Let It Be. And the wave pockets. We used the mason jar. We did all kinds of fun stuff. So quick flip, and I'll take a peek at the comments. Hello from Poland. Hello. Yeah, we all like this Let It Be paper. And if you don't know by now, I'm a pretty big bee fan. Here's my mouse pad over here. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I'm a pretty big bee fan, and people know it. We did some slider. This one was a little bit of a challenge for us, but we made it through. We had to do a little workaround, but that was kind of fun. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I was saying what made me think of the texture thing is there is that complete planner, right? And the pages are all paper and cardstock, which is lovely. But there's a whole lot more room in here. Even after I were to add photos, there's a lot of room in here yet. So I thought instead of just adding more pages made with paper, wouldn't it be cool to mix in some pages that are very textural? And I don't know about you, but I love texture. It reminds me of like when my kid was little and we'd read books together, and there would be those books we would find that had like things you could touch and feel and textures and, you know, even little pieces of fabric and things like that. I have always liked that. I think it's sort of a human thing to enjoy texture with your hands. So that's what got me going. And I've got a whole pile of stuff over here to the left. I can't wait to show you. So I'm going to put this away for now. We'll refer to it and we will mix in those pages hopefully at the end. But I want to show you some ideas of things that you can do with just things you probably have around your house. And I'm going to move through like super easy to a little more involved. Let's see, there's a question. Are you going to put honeycomb in there or a beehive for texture? Haha. on my tattoo? No. No, this be it right here. This be it. Get it? That's probably my one and only tattoo. It's very special. Jamie gave it to me on Mother's Day. My 24-year-old illustrator extraordinaire who is dabbling in tattooing. So that's kind of cool that she did that. They did that, sorry. Let's see. Let me look back at the comments really quick before we start. Hanara's screen has paused. Yes. Yeah, Els, those books. You know what I'm talking about. Sandpaper, yeah, all that kind of stuff is really cool. Okay, so this is just your standard index card, right? And I had a stack of them and I thought, why not? Now, this isn't heavy texture, but there's some things you can do to it to make it textury. So I used one of the dies. Now I have the whole stack of dies over here, but I'm not going to dig through them every time I use one. Perhaps Anya can help or Els. But this is not a full page die. It's, you know, this is a full page die, so it's like that size. So I just cut the card out of that, sprayed it with some sprays, inked the edges, and that's cool. That adds texture right there. You know, you can kind of feel a little bit of that distress spray stain. And then on the back, I've added music note paper, which also adds texture, of course. And I just buy these books from, you know, antique shops or whatever. And I just tear these pages right out. I use them all the time in junk journals. So that's an easy way to add texture. Of course, I glued those two together before I die cut them out. But then you can see on here, this is Distress Oxides and a little bit of water and some ink around the edges. So really, really basic texture. And then while we're sitting here with this page, we might as well dress it up, and I'll kind of glance over at the comments. Yeah, the ticket page. Yeah, and you notice like the index card, I didn't, you know, your brain wants it to go this way because that's what we're all used to, but why not? Why not make it go vertically, right? So I'm going to add a couple of reinforcers on here just for a little more texture. Yes, like, comment, and share, you guys. I forgot to say that at the top. Monday is the day, right, that Els calls out a winner for the $50 gift certificate. Wilma liked, commented, and shared. It goes Yeah, the music note paper goes a long way. It's really nice. You can do all kinds of things to it. And wait till I show you what I did to it as an experiment a little bit later. Oh, there we go. Planner Essentials 11. Anya has put the link. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Anya. Okay, so I've got those, and I have some more for the back, and then I have some of the Elizabeth Crafts washi tape. I don't know if y'all even know they have washi tape, but they do. This one is Reminiscence 1 by Esther, and I thought I would add some of that somewhere. But I think what I want to do is I want to put this just across, just as a little bit of added texture. And then the idea is that we will lead it into my little tab I want to build on here. I don't dare lean over into the camera because I'm wearing a baseball hat. You don't like bees, Jeanette? Oh no. Well, I guess if you've gotten stung at one point or something bad happened, I can see that, but bees are so important to everything, the world. They're basically keeping the world in balance. That's why I love them so much. Okay, so I put that there, and my idea is to put this little stamped bee, of course, over here like a tab. Music notebooks at places like Goodwill and thrift stores. Yes, absolutely. Goodwill and thrift stores, for sure. Also dictionaries, as you'll see in a moment. Well, you saw at the top there, I had dictionary page I was working on. So I've stamped 2 of these, and these are from one of the stamp sets by Esther. I do have that sitting right here, I think. This one is from In My Garden, and I think I use it a couple of times today. So that's just a little fun tab. We got all kinds of texture going now with cardstock and washi and a little bit of paint and spray, and then these guys will go in the back, so I'll just do that real quick. Greetings from beautiful South Carolina. So Teresa Davis, what part of South Carolina are you from? Are you in? Because you know I'm right here in Greenville, right here downtown. Okay, there Sir Stamp-A-Lot is posting the stamp set that I've used there with the bee. Thank you very much. All those great books like dictionaries and sheet music and atlas are getting harder to find. Yeah, I know. I've been looking for maps, like old maps, and those are really hard to find. I've started to just go online and look for digital ones that I can print myself over and over. Okay, so that page is done, you guys. It's done. Hello, Annette, Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, there's Carol. Carol was at the retreat too. So many people, so many new friends. Let's see, Portland, Kendra. Hello, Kendra. I'm looking for the answer to, Murals Inlet. I don't know where that is, Teresa. Okay, I'll have to look that up later. All right, clean up my little space here. All right, so that's like the easiest thing you can do for texture. Super easy. Let's see, now we can, I don't want to lose my pages, I'll put them back here. Okay, another super duper easy thing is to get out your jelly plate if you have one, and honestly, if you don't have one, something slick, like a non-stick craft sheet would kind of work. But we all know about the jelly plate, right? And we use this at the retreat, and I'm not super duper comfortable with it, but I love playing around on it. It's just that, you know, rubbery kind of mat, and you squeeze some paints on it, and then you press your stencils in it, or make some squiggles in it, or whatever. And these are just that's something different. We'll talk about that in a minute. But these were just experimental things I was doing with some of Esther's new stencils that are out now. And you know, I didn't fill the whole page because I thought, well, I like it, but I don't want it to be a full page. So what I will do is save this for die cuts, for little accents, embellishments, tabs, banners, something like that. And then I just kind of went a little crazy here with some collage medium and paint and distressed crayons, which we used at the retreat. Was kind of fun. So just kind of experimenting and playing with the jelly plate is another way to add quick texture. And these types of things, like your packaging from Elizabeth Craft Designs, this is from the pocket pages. I saved them because I had a ton of them, and I thought I can put these to good use in many different ways. And so basically that's what this became here. It started off as this package and became this sheet. And of course I've used the new stencils as well. I don't recall which die this is from, but it's got that great torn book edge to it. Sir Stamp-A-Lot, thank you. You're posting links to the stencils. Awesome. Okay. So this is just paint. Just streaks, and then taking a baby wipe and wiping some of it away. But man, it's got such a nice texture to it. Feels really cool. Then I stamped a few things. I put on the hole reinforcers, but this was this. So use that kind of stuff too. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this page while I look at the comments. I have things ready. I have dictionaries. I recently found 3 atlases with maps. One is old, one is binded like normal, separate, da da da. Yeah, you just, if you find stuff like that, just use it. Don't hoard it. Don't be worried about tearing into it. Just use it. I'm a big believer in just using it. And there is no secret to the paint behind here, honestly. It's just streaks. I tried a little bit of stenciling back there, and I thought that looked cool, but then I did some streaks over the top, and, you know, I didn't think about it too hard. So I've got a little photo frame on that side, and I'll just pop this one on to the back, because why not? Let's see, I don't know where, because I don't know what's going to go on this page yet, but since we did the other one lower, let's do this one up in the upper left. Okay, so that, yeah, that's a really pretty stencil as well from Esther's new release. All right, let me check the comments here. We got Planner Essentials 39, the torn page with frames. Thank you very much. In the UK, it's fairly easy to get maps. Oh, nice, from the charity shops. Okay. Alrighty. Where'd you get that giant bee? Oh, this here. I knew someone was going to ask, so I pulled it out. It's an old stamp I've had forever, like a woodblock stamp, which I hardly ever buy. I don't know if they still have it, but stampotique.com. So, yeah, it's a nice big one. And of course, this sunflower is from Elizabeth Craft Designs. Let's see if I can find that quickly. Yeah, 1894 Sunshine. So that's the kind that comes, you can purchase the dies to go with the stamps. I have them packaged together, but they are sold separately. So those are great. That's what I used here. Okay, so that's another way. Let's see what we're talking about. Da-da. Oh, Honora had to go. Love that sheet adhesive. Yes, I do too, Cindy. Yeah, Elizabeth Crafts. Montreal, Quebec. Oh, okay, awesome. Something about the ochre. What did I see? The ochre cover. Love the rich ochre color. Oh, yeah, of the page. Right. Okay. Maps. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so another one is these guys. What are these? Little, like, recipe card divider thingies. I'm quite sure I got this at Goodwill, the whole pack, and there might have been one letter missing, but I don't care because I cover it up, you know, just to make a little tab page. And yes, we have a die in one of the planner sets, but I think the size, I just wanted to use something like this. You know, I had it. So maybe the size was a little different. It's a little more square. And if, in fact, I think I use it later. You'll see. Let's see. Oh, everyone's trying to help out Honora. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't feel well. Okay, so what I did here, as you've seen maybe Els and a couple of others do, is I use napkins to cover this one. And I had some bee napkins, of course. I believe Jamie bought these for me a long time ago. And I saw someone on YouTube who did this. It's not a new thing at all, but I just really haven't done much with napkins, and so I tried it. So I covered the whole thing with the napkin on one side, and the way that I achieved that was just to use some gel medium, matte medium, any kind. I used this one because I had it. Everyone at the retreat got a little bottle of this kind, and I just apply it with a regular paintbrush. Basically paint on the front of the card, and then you peel apart your napkin, of course, to get just one ply, and then you lay it on there, let it dry, and then cut around it. And it's super cute, right? And it's got really nice texture. I did seal the top of it after it was dry with another coat of the gel medium. Yeah, so gosh, if you go to, I don't know how many places, like other countries besides the US, have Tuesday morning, but that's a great place to go for napkins. Beautiful napkins. But these are just a few really, really pretty ones that I've been kind of hoarding and wanting to play with. But you can see I've got one of them glued to something already. This great pineapple. But they're beautiful. All different seasons, flowers, you know, summertime stuff. Some are just kind of embossed. Beautiful. Look at that one with the fruit. Yeah, really pretty. So napkins for sure, and a little bit of gel medium is beautiful. This is part of the napkin, this little checker. That was the edge right there. And then the back side, another place to go to get some texture is magazines. And in my case, because this is going to be mostly my 2022 planner this year, I know that it's going to have a lot to do with being outdoors a lot in Greenville, because that's what we do. So I go to a travel magazine. It's a great source for these types of images, and I pulled out a few just to show you that I had in contention to use. This one here had a nice section with no type to it. Beautiful, a little bit of glare there. Beautiful water and mountains. This one just had nice color. I was thinking about this area right here, how cool that looks. I mean, gosh, even the water on the back. Look at this one with the sunflowers. That would have been great too in some other part of the journal in a different way. This one has a little sailboat. There's the other half of the sailboat. So you're getting the idea, and look at that. That's beautiful. And that's beautiful. So you can definitely do that, and that adds a little shiny texture. And I would not stop here. What I would do is I would then go to my stuff, my leftovers, and I would maybe fussy cut a few things, just so it's not like a completely different feel. That's the whole reason why I thought I wanted to do this part. There's Kay Hafen. Hey, Kay. Hello, Leo. Kathy Andrews. Better late than never. Absolutely. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Like, comment, and share, you know, so you guys can be entered into the drawing that Els will... I don't know who's going to be here Monday, if it'll be Els, but Els will draw the winner, and it will be announced. They will be announced on Monday, I believe. Whoops. So just to tie everything together, I thought I'd add a couple of sunflowers right onto this scene, because why not? Oh, there's Mary, and Karen is here. Mary, I know it's hot. It's hot here. It's pretty hot here. But I was just down in Florida very quickly last weekend to surprise my dad for his 80th birthday. And we totally surprised him, so it was great. But it was really hot down there. But we've been having an even hotter heat wave come through the Greenville area. A little hotter than Florida the last couple days. Today's not bad. Doesn't seem too bad. Okay, so the only thing I don't have here yet are the holes, which I've already lined them up with an existing page, so I'm just going to pop out my crocodile, and I've marked them with a pencil, and I'll just get those done right away. Peek at the comments over here. Jessica's here. I'm here, I'm here. Hi, Jessica. I'm so glad. Els has already talked about the retreat and how much fun we had, but I'm just going to reiterate that whole thing because we did. We had a great time. It was a lot of work, but so much fun. Such a good time. The YMCA is a fun place to have it. My goodness, with the nature. If you all were looking at any of the pictures that we posted. Julie's from Wisconsin. Hi, Julie. Yeah, it was just beautiful there. Like, I'd go out on my little cabin porch in the morning with my coffee, and an elk would just walk right past me. It was so great. Just loved it. Oh, Sherry, are you hot in North Carolina? Yeah. Here in the Netherlands, it is hot today. Oh, okay. All right. I got a lot more to do, so I better speed up. So much fun. Kim Russell. Hello, Kim Russell. Yeah, we had a great time. We did. It's worth every bit of work. And I have to say, I've met Els before in person at, an expo and at Creativation and things like that, but never really got to spend a lot of time with her. And I'm just here to tell you, that woman works hard. Her, Yosette, her husband Yoop, their son Mark, they're all hardworking, loving family, super duper nice people. It was just such a pleasure to work with them and get to know them personally. Esther's sweating too. I'm sorry, Esther. We could use some warm weather here. Diane, you're up in Canada, right? Okay, well that's done. That one's done. Cute. I don't know. I'll put something there, maybe, maybe not. A little journaling down in the water. I don't know, but there's another idea. Okay, now we have your basic embossing folder, but to add a little more texture to the embossing folder, let's use a paper bag. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember the days of the paper bag album? I miss those days. I love paper bag albums because of the noise, the texture, the crinkle. I just love it. It's hot in England. What does this say? Luckily I can hit the translation. It'd be a little cool for me too, yes. Okay, so anyway, I have taken two different paper bags and altered them just a little bit. One is just the second one, a portion, like a single ply, and I have embossed it, which maybe you can see, maybe you can't. And if you ask what the embossing folder is, it's a big, close to my heart one, a really big sized one that does a lot, so that's why I picked that one. I don't know if it's available anymore, quatrefoil embossing folder. But I did a small square here for the front, and I glued my bag kind of shut on the sides. I trimmed a little bit off the top and re-punched this little circle here. And then I went ahead and lined up a page from before in the planners and punched my holes. And I want to put this on the back here. But before I do the back, let's finish the front. Okay. And of course this is a pocket too, like we do, right, with paper bags. That's why we like paper bags. So I have some things ready. Yeah, Lisa, you did too? Paper bag albums back in the day? Yeah, me too. I still have one somewhere. Okay. Oh, there was something fun I wanted to show you. I wonder if I saved that little... Yeah, I did. Okay. And I might have done this in another video. I'm not sure. We'll see. You guys will have to let me know. So I've got this little tag, and of course this is a die from Elizabeth Crafts. A bee embossing folder. I have a bee embossing folder from Elizabeth Crafts, Sylvia? Does it actually have bees on it? Or beehive? I would like to know. Okay. So I'm just going to pop this on sideways. This might be a little place for journaling. Oh, hi, Anne. You forgot to watch the time. That's okay. You're here now. Never saw that one. Be so cool. Yeah, I want to know about that embossing folder, Sylvia. So that came out of another tag, and I just popped it back in there. And I stamped that. I believe this is from that same stamp we were talking about earlier. Which one is that? Oh no, this is from Paper Love. Paper Love. Right there for the record. So that's a great thing for journaling. That's why I have that out now. I remember. Okay, I was hoping this was going to happen because I want to talk about this. We always get our little art glitter glue plugged up, and the first thing everybody does is jam their pen down in there that way, and then they try to use it and it still gets plugged. So the key is take it out, take it off, and unjam it from the inside out, and that pushes whatever clump is in there. Oh, I just read that, Jessica, about when COVID hit and Els was going to come to your store. That's a bummer. She had to cancel. All right, so hopefully that little trick worked. Penny is saying my voice sounds so familiar. Well, maybe you've watched me on YouTube and you don't realize it's the same person. I don't know. A lot of people say that I sound like my dearly departed friend Ginger in my videos. Paula, don't apologize. You're here. We don't mind that you're late. All right, so what I was going to point out was, we have the hole reinforcer dies, which are wonderful, and I use them all the time. But I thought, wouldn't it be kind of cute and clever to use part of the sunflower as the hole reinforcer this time? And so I did that. I used a little half circle punch and punched out the centers of all those little guys. And I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to glue these all down. Try not to put too much glue in the middle. And now these will become my hole reinforcers, and it just makes it just a little cuter. How do you add the strand beads to the straight pen? I would really help me. I didn't make this particular charm dangle thingy, but there are YouTube videos galore. Whoops, sorry, hit you with my hat. There's YouTube videos galore on how to make them. If you just Google, I don't know what you would Google. Pin charm dangles? I don't know. I'm sure somebody can teach you how to make it. This was a gift from a retreat that I did prior to the one in Colorado. And I'm pretty sure it was Renee, and I hope I got that right, that made them, but not sure. Okay, so of course I am going to go back in here and punch the holes and hope that I kind of got those centered, but I'm going to let that glue dry for a minute and we'll flip it over and go to the other side here. So I did not do anything to this yet, and I want it to look like the other side, and that's very easy to achieve, of course, with a little bit of ink. And I'm going to grab a little Susan, who does paper flowers. Susan Tierney Coburn? Susan? Maybe. Yes, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Yes, Penny, I did teach at the Colorado retreat with Els. I know I'm down here in the right-hand corner, but I don't want to bump my hat into the camera while I do this. I gotta see what I'm doing. Honeybee has a lot of foil plate with bees. Oh, okay. Glue dangle. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. A glue dangle. A dangle charm. Dangle pin charm. I don't know. Incidentally, if you are a planner maker slash scrapbooker like me, because I use my planner, I have two different planners, of course. One is an actual planner, like date book, agenda, blah blah. But the other one is more like this one that you're looking at, that's going to be more of a scrapbook planner. So of course I'm really behind because this is going to be my 2022 planner. But I was going to say, if you are like me and you're behind and you didn't catch it, I did make a video and post it on the blog on Monday about that very thing, like catching up on your scrapbooking. And I did like 5 spreads in an afternoon. I mean, truly I did. I'm using glue stick here because I can get a large surface without it drying out, and it won't tear the paper as I do it. I'm laughing at people talking about the word dangle. I just will refrain from making jokes about that. Oh, see, I have to punch these holes really quick. I can't cover them up or I won't see them anymore. Yeah, I gotta do that right now. And I tell you what, if somebody could come up with a way to get this crocodile to unplug better, I would love to hear it. I get in there with my tweezers all the time, but I wish that I didn't have to. All right, let's see how we did. Okay, that one's a little funny, but do I care? Absolutely not. Okay. Susanna said, I love that video. Oh, well, that's very nice. Thank you. I'm glad. All right. Well, hopefully my glue stick hasn't dried, but I will smear a little bit more on that paper bag piece in just a second. All I'm going to do is, because you saw when I laid that paper bag piece down on here, it doesn't quite reach top and bottom to my little bag page. So I've got this border. It's paper from Graphic 45 that's super old. I think it's from ABC Primer. They're like elementary school paper from a long time ago. And I love the ruler. I just want to check and see, am I going to make it? Yeah, I want it to overlap a little bit. All right, let me flip that over. Oof. A little gluey. Planner trips, I like you. Small scrapbooking album, yes. Okie dokie. Oof. Very gluey. Don't look at that. That's Christmas stuff from years ago. Okay, I'm just going to put this here, and then I am going to have to repunch the holes. But I think this is kind of a cool little page. I could have put those ruler borders top and bottom, but I didn't on purpose because I like the texture of the raggedy edge of this paper bag. So texture, texture, texture. So that's kind of cute, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, but I want to jump ahead and grab something, you know, just to show you that that could be a pocket. All right, so I'm going to put that back under the stack here so we can talk about that particular pouch in a moment. Take a look at the comments. Mini albums are my go-to these days, says Karen. Yep, me too. Me too. Don't give me... Oh, you guys are talking about the crocodile and some other ideas and stuff. Okay, cool. All right, let me clean up my glue a little bit. I still have quite a stack over here, and it's I got 22 minutes left. This is why I'm not like demonstrating everything, you know, like all the painting and the stenciling and stuff, because it's too much. Okay, so another one is another type of bag, like these little party sacks. Let's see if I have one loose here. But you get the idea. You can see I made it look like a tag. I actually used the large tag die, one of the ones in the sets. So yeah, I'm always saving these kind of things, these pretty little flat sacks. These are awesome to fold and do different things with. Glue pin charm tutorial, Google it. There are dozens of videos. Thank you very much, Jessica. Yeah. Okay, so this is one of those little paper sacks. I glued it completely closed. It's not a pocket or anything. It's just going to be a cute page. And what's going on here is a little bit of texture because I was just digging through all my stuff. So much stuff. And I found something that I bought years ago. all rolled up and hidden away in the closet, which means it never got used. But look at this beautiful like rice paper stuff. Had it forever. It's gorgeous. Right? And then I had this sheet too, and I'm sure I bought it at an expo. In fact, I think I bought it with my friend Tiffany when we were at an expo. But what's cool about like rice papery, mulberry paper, things like this, is you can do something really cool and quick with it. Now let me find something kind of easy. Let's do this guy over here. Sheila, that's very nice. You could watch me craft all day. Well, you're welcome to come on by anytime. Just let me know in advance. That'd be fun, huh? All right, I'm just throwing that stuff over there. So what you can do here, grab either a paintbrush or a water brush. In my case, it'll be a water brush. And to eliminate all the rest of the stuff around your image, you just paint a little water around the edge. I leave a little bit of white. Some people go right up to the edge. But this is saturating into that very thin rice paper, and then you can just kind of peel it away, and then you can decoupage it onto whatever you're working on. So you can see, I'll get a little closer, how it has that really nice textural torn edge to it, just fraying beautifully. It's not like fussy cutting a nice hard edge. It's really, really pretty. And so when you go to adhere this down, I would use the matte medium. So I'm just going to do that much. You get the idea. But I just went back to that gel medium and a brush, and it sort of just fades. You can see a little halo of the white where the mulberry paper was, the rice paper. But it just kind of fades away right into whatever you adhere it to. So that's super cool. And then you can feel it a little bit. It has some nice texture. Jan is asking, can you do that with napkins? Yes, we talked about that a little bit earlier with napkins. As far as the wetting and tearing, I don't know. You know what? Let's try it. Because I think that's a good question. Let's try to... Oh, yeah, maybe. I'm thinking yes. And he's kind of small. I would do this with a bigger image. But let's just see how hard it is. And I'm really wanting to soak this so we don't tear the bee. I don't see why not. Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, good question, and we got the answer. Oh yeah, I'm going to save that for later and put that on something. Well, thank you. Thank you for asking that. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to finish our little paper sack here, decorate it. Yeah, mulberry paper, Linda. I kind of think that's what this is because it's super old. I've had it like forever. This is part of this same die that I'm going to use on the top. Water brush on napkins for just this. Yep, it does work great. Yeah, I mean, even if you don't have rice paper, napkins are in abundance. You can find those everywhere. Just make sure you peel out, peel them apart so you only have the 1 ply. Some are 2 and 3 ply, those napkins. So, all right, I'm going to put this here just to decorate it quickly. And then I got these little strips here. These were just leftover strips from that planner class. And I think I'm going to put them there. Maybe. Maybe they're supposed to go this way. So there's, that's better. That's better. Yeah, I didn't think that I was supposed to see the edge of the bag like that. Okay. Well, I'll just do one side real quick just so you can see it. We'll trim it up. Missed a little bit, but did you use that green roll of paper? Yes, it's coming, Els. It's coming. I'm so excited to show you. Yeah. Els and I went to a, what was it? Ben Franklin type of arts and art store. Paper Source has rice paper. Oh, okay. 3, 3, 3. Did I put enough glue? I did not. 3 and 2 we have to do. Um, yeah, Els, you'll have to tell me, was that Ben Franklin? We don't have those anymore here. Well, I don't know if South Carolina has them. We used to have them in Florida. We don't anymore. Okay. Els. Oh, Belinda's suggesting what else? Benjamin Moore, that's what it was. Benjamin Moore, but it was like a full-up art store, as well as, paint store. They had everything. It was great. That was in downtown Denver when I was running around with Els the day after the retreat was over. And we had a good time. But I tell you what, you gotta keep up with Els. She's quick. She's fast. Ben Franklin no longer. Yeah, it wasn't Ben Franklin. Sorry, I got that wrong. I knew it was a guy's name, Benjamin Moore. All right, I saw a little spot here I got to fix real quick. Okay. And then just because I had it laying around extra, I've got the butterfly, also from Elizabeth Crafts, one of the dies. I think it's the one that has butterfly in the name. Butterfly page special? I don't know. I've seen that technique where people use a little sponge instead of this way to get the glue on the back of intricate things, and I really need to try that. All right, just because it's pretty, I'm going to put it right there. Okay, so there's another crinkly fun page, and I'm just going to clip this with this because I want to add that to the other side, and of course eventually I'll do something to the other side of that. But there is another page with a lot of texture. All right, what do I got next? Oh, another bag, another gift bag. This one's kind of fun. I will show you. It's just like those other ones, right? It's just a regular paper sack, but it's really pretty, and I've already got tape on it, and I've got some paper and inking and stuff done just to get ahead of myself here. So what I've done is just sort of fold it in such a way that it's going to be a side loading pocket page with a double side pocket. So I want to make sure I get the order of this correct because I've got tape everywhere. This has to come down. A lot of times I'll just put tape just to help reinforce something. Like this paper bag, when you go to put things in, it might be a little flimsy, but if you put some tape in there, not only does it hold down the flap nice, it also reinforces that area. Everything scrapbook and stamps in Florida. Michelle Monkosh has everything, and if she doesn't, she will track it down. Awesome. Gosh, you're lucky to have a store like Michelle's. That's awesome. Okay, so that's that. And then I had a little accent piece I wanted to put on the front side as well. Somebody's sending me a messenger message, so I hope it's not anything important. It's going to have to wait. So the same border that I have on the back, I'm going to put on the front. And I kind of was thinking I was going to put it inside of there, but I think I'll just put it right on the top here because I already glued it down and it doesn't matter. So now we have two places to tuck stuff. All right. And then I would just lay the die of some page die, doesn't matter which one, on here. Oh, actually we have to glue this shut too. That's why I have tape here. That's some interesting folding. Yeah, I just was messing around. I don't have any measures or score lines or anything. I just started folding and didn't really write anything down. But that's cute. And then I have 4 green hole reinforcers that I will add later on. So I'll just keep all that together. But that's just another way you can do a little side page. So tuck that away. And how are we doing over here? sunflower border. Did you score the paper bag or was it already scored? No, I just started folding, Kathy. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of folded it in half, then I folded it again a little bit here and there. I'm sorry I can't expound on that a little bit better. Okay, another way we can do texture is with some burlap. Got a couple of things ready here. Some burlap and also some more packaging. So this is from Graphic 45. It was Floral Shop Journaling and Ephemera Cards. And it's super pretty. Look at that. I use this a lot. All these extras because it just otherwise would get thrown away. It's really pretty and it's like super cardstock thick, probably at least 100 pound. So that's what's on the back here. But on the front, can anybody guess what that is? It's not just burlap. It is from the bag that the square, all the TNs come in now. Or is it just this? I don't know. Maybe it's all the planners. I don't know if we do them in boxes anymore, but some of you may not want to do this and you might want to go to the craft store and get burlap, but this is what I used because I had it. I had an extra one for some reason, and I don't always store my planners and TNs in those bags, so I just put it to use. And you can't see it on the front so much, but just to kind of keep it all down after I glued this, I did stitch on the sewing machine all the way around. I have my machine right here in the craft room, so that's easy for me to do. Yes, don't forget to like, comment, and share, you guys. I keep kind of glossing over that, but we want somebody to win next week for sure. So you can see I put a little bee on the back here. But on the front, I think I want to use these little flower reinforcers. And normally I would ink the edges, but for sake of time, I won't. And I think that they're going to adhere to this burlap just fine. I had to use the crocodile to go through the holes again after I used the dye, just because this was a little bit thick. But that worked out beautifully. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are enjoying the ideas. Good. Good. Very doable stuff. It's not, you know, super technical. I have one thing coming up that's a little bit technical, but interesting if you've never seen something like that before, that you'll see in a minute. I have 8 minutes left. Oh dear. Well, I know I can go over a little, but I hate to do that to you guys, so I think I'll just pop this last guy on here. Okay, and then my idea was going to be to put this cute little fussy cut sunflower and bee right there. So I'm just going to put that aside. I love burlap for texture. All right, here's another idea. Cork. Have you ever seen these cork sheets? Like, gosh, I feel like they're almost everywhere now. Back in the day, they were a little bit hard to come by. Cork craft sheets. I don't even remember where I got it. I've had it forever. So that's Quartet, you know, I don't even know if that still exists, but they are super thin sheets of cork and you can cut them and die cut them beautifully. Look at that. So I die cut this one, of course, from one of the dies. Thank you very much, Karen. Time flies, we're happy. If I go overtime, okay, I'll try not to though, I really will. So let me see how well this is going to peel away. I did do the whole back with the double-sided adhesive. Beautiful. I got one little hole there that didn't come out. And then I pre-cut this little guy and put some pretty paper on the back. Just, you know, you can see how flimsy this is. It really wouldn't hold up by itself very well, so put that right there. And I was supposed to go all the way to the edge. I can see that now because this was supposed to be even all the way around here, but that's okay. And I will repunch my holes later. But that is super easy and quick and adds texture. I love. Let's see. I'm laughing at Penny's comment. Yes, we all have so much stuff to use up. And that's why I was super excited to do this, because like I said, I found that roll of that mulberry paper I had forgotten completely about. I have all these books laying around, dictionary and sheet music. I mean, I use them sometimes, but not as much as I really should. So I'll just show you the idea of how I was going to just do a little something on this page, but I won't take the time to glue it all down. And I believe these little frames come from the film strip die set. It has this great long film strip in there. If anybody wants to help me out on that, but you know, until I know what my photos are and any kind of journaling or embellishment, that's that. So that's another thing you can do. Cork sheets from Joann's quite some time ago. Yeah, I might have got these at Joann's a long time ago too. I don't know. I've had them forever. Okay, another thing you can do, and this is where we're getting to the part, Els. Vellum, of course, is always super fun. This is a sheet of like gold vellum. I'm looking for the package. Here is just a sheet of it. It's sort of frosty, kind of gold. I got it on Amazon. It had a bunch of colors in it. So I folded it in half to make a page, and it's not going to be, this one is going to be a pocket. Yeah. But what I did here, just for some even more texture, because you already got the texture crinkle of the vellum, but I used some gesso to make little circles, and I used the cap of just some, you know, spray stain bottle, and I dipped it into the paint and just started making circles. We've seen that before. People do it in their art journals and stuff. And it just adds a really nice texture. Now you can go over this with maybe a color, or you could ink over the top of it. I don't know if I want to do that because I really kind of like it, but maybe I'll do a little corner just to see how it looks. Yeah, I think it just muddies it up for me, but that might be your taste. I'm gonna leave it be. And then just to show you what I had in mind here is I've got everything prepped and ready with my tape. And yeah, I picked, of course, all these things that I'm showing you, I've picked either gold or black. Let's see, I need to glue these down first because this is the top of my little page. And the great thing about vellum is that you can kind of see through it. You could put things down in here and see them. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I picked blacks and golds and reds on purpose just so everything ties in together in the end with this planner. So Stamp-A-Lot posted the planner film strip. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Colored vellum is at Hobby Lobby. Good to know. Annette, you could use a stack of die-cut honeycomb pieces to make your pages look honeycomb texture too. Yes, absolutely. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, leave it be. Oh, Jan, I see what you did there. I see what you did. So funny. Okay, so my page holes will go down there, and so what I did here is I cut a little strip of paper, put double-sided adhesive on both sides of the fold line, and I will sandwich this across, and this will just really reinforce that flimsy vellum, especially when it's being turned in your planner on the holes, on the rings. Now this is super sticky. Wish me luck. Wow. Oh good, I cut it a little bit longer just for this very reason, so I didn't have to be exactly perfect. Okay, cool. So beautiful with the gold vellum. Thank you. Sheets of postage stamp at the post office and put them in a... Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that. Post office vellum. Okay, and then I guess I had... Whoops, so sorry. I had this guy, so I'm going to put him down real fast. It's 2:59. I am going over. It's official. I'm getting ready to go over because we have to talk about this next thing. It's so cool. Okay. So I'm not going to take the time now, but let's just slide something in here. What have I got? Anything? Just something. It has to be small-ish. All right, well, This is all I could find very quickly. So I have a little pocket, little coin envelope. But you can see how you can slide something in there. You can kind of see it. Really fun. So that's cool. I'll punch holes later. Okay, now, as we're talking about vellum, glassine to me is very similar to vellum. And whoever that was that just said that about the postal envelopes, let's see if I can find one. I pulled one to show y'all. Where? Oh, here we go. Okay, so yes, at the post office, I've had this forever too, because I figured, oh, I can make a little pocket out of that. So you see, this is sort of like glassine, I guess. Back in the day, glassine was really a little more waxy, and if you crinkled it, there would put, you know, little white veins in it because of the wax that was coating the outside. So this isn't quite exactly the same, but it's still pretty cool, and it still kind of mimics the whole glassine thing. So you can get these when you buy stamps from the post office. I think I bought them online, that's why I got it in this nice big thing. But instead of just using that, here's something fun that you can try if you're adventurous. So remember when we talked about that guy? So this is from parchment paper that you would use to bake. Is Yona still here? I'm sure she knows what parchment is. This is just paper that you would use in the oven when you bake cookies or cakes that you don't want to stick. You know, you can just peel it off at the end. So you can see the difference here, right? This is just paper. But if you do something to it, do you see the sheen on here now? Now it looks like a little glassine envelope. It has that crinkle. It's got a little waxy look to it, a little shine. And I can stamp it before I do what makes it look shiny because it's matte before you do what I did. So let's talk about that. What did I do? I took, here's another example. So Els, this is very similar, right? Els and I bought this green roll. And Els, it doesn't look like you took any. I hope you did. We were going to share this roll, but they have these rolls in your art supply store, your paint stores in particular, Home Depots, where there's paint. And it's called like painter's masking paper. And I guess they tape this around doors and windows and whatever to mask off where they're going to paint. Well, it's really light and thin and crinkly and this beautiful green color. And then, of course, the craft color is very common. I've had this roll forever, but you can see, I think, how very, very thin it is, right? So let's compare, when I show you my little magical secret, what you can create from that. This is the same thing as this. Pretty cool, right? This is not my idea. I got it from someone on YouTube, but it's pretty cool. Now the green became this. Isn't that cool? Super, super cool. And you can die cut this, you can fold this, you can glue this. The double-sided adhesive tape works great on here. It does not resist it. It's wonderful. So I got this idea from someone I love on YouTube, Nick the Booksmith. I don't know if anybody follows her, but she simply used Rust-Oleum, this stuff right here, semi-gloss clear spray, and cut her piece, and you know, went outside, and make sure you wear gloves, kids, because I didn't, and poof. Yeah, she just sprayed both sides, waiting between to do the next one. Really, really coated it. And for me, if I tried to fold this within a couple of hours, even though it says it dries in 20 minutes, it wanted to crack. But overnight, letting it dry, it's beautiful. Just beautiful. Isn't that nice? Yeah, you can spray napkins and do a very similar thing too, Lolly said. And that's true. I saw someone else doing that on YouTube. And just for kicks, I wanted to see how it would work. I sprayed some of that music note paper, and I haven't done anything with this yet, but oh, it's so cool. And it gives it a little more stability even. Oh, Lisa is here. Hey, Lisa Gregory. Yeah, Nick's, yeah, I'm sure you do, because you're into that. Yeah, her stuff is awesome. I love watching her make books. So anyway, there's that same music paper I used earlier, but I sprayed it with that spray. So I'll do something fun with that too. So texture, texture, texture. Okay, finally, we can't talk about texture without talking about fabric, right? So this here is just some fabric I had in my stash. Some of it, I think this is like Tim Holtz Eclectic Elements. This is Kathy Holden from Moda. And I put some batting in between there, and just for a little bit of stiffness, I ate up a bunch of chocolate, and I had a leftover package from the chocolate bar. Now, you could go back to, you know, the thing I showed you earlier, the packaging from Elizabeth Crafts, doesn't matter. My little package of chocolate here is just a little flimsier cardboard than this is, and so my sewing machine did not struggle because, yes, I did sew all around the edges. And then I pinked the edges with some scissors, and then I added the hole reinforcers. Somebody said a question, what was that spray again, please? It is Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover Semi-Gloss Clear, and it says right here, it bonds to plastic. So I don't know what people are using it for normally, but if I'm a paper crafter, I'm using this. So this is just a pretty page, and what's cool about using fabric is that if I want to put something on here, yes, you can glue, of course, onto fabric, as we all know by now, right? Fabri-Tac. I don't know if we have that spray in the Netherlands. Like a clear coat of some sort, but it's like really heavy duty. Like, I don't know what makes it so good. It doesn't yellow like a lot of clear sealers do. But anyway, the Fabri-Tac would work great to adhere things to this, but I'm thinking it'd be even more fun. Oh my goodness, sorry. It'd be even more fun to take it to the sewing machine and sew things on here that I want on here. Or hand stitch it. Or whatever. And then I just grab some lace, because maybe I'll glue that there. But then I grabbed some black, and I thought, well, that's pretty too. Maybe both. Maybe one on one side and one on the other. I don't know. So, wow, I can't believe how fast that hour went. It's 3:06, you guys. Thank you for hanging in there. I want to just take a quick peek at the comments. Yes, I did put batting in between. I just used some Pellon fusible fleece that I had. It really wouldn't matter. I did iron it, but honestly, you could put a piece in between there and just use a little bit of glue to hold it until you could sew it, and that would still work well. Let's see. Okay, everybody's talking about name of brown paper. Painter's tape, paper, painter's paper. I don't know. You'd find it. If you went to the paint store, you'd find it. Yes. Okay, thank you guys very, very much. I'm going to sign off. I appreciate you being here. I'm sorry, I feel like I flew through all of that. That was the fastest live I've ever done. But thanks for watching, and make sure you like, comment, share, all that good stuff before we say goodbye, so we can make sure you get entered in for the drawing on Monday. And I think it'll be Els, but we will see. We will see. Thank you, Cindy. Good to see you guys. Thank you, Michelle and Michelle Lorenzo. Thank you. I'm so glad you learned loads. Awesome. Alrighty, well, I'm going to say goodbye now. You guys have a great afternoon or evening or morning wherever you are, and thank you again. Take care.